Hello, welcome to Dungeon Not Included.
Hey
Today
there.
we are playing Runners in the Dark.
That's the game.
Shadows, Runners in the Shadows. You're right. It's Blades in the Dark.
Runners in the
based
Dark
on Blades in the
Shadows
Dark,
with blades.
It's Runners in the Shadows.
It's a
There's
fun game,
darkness,
bad advice.
There's shadows, there's running, and there's blades.
There's
Yep.
Blades, yes.
Don't forget the blades.
Before we go too much further, there's a lot of scissors and being dangerous.
Yes.
Before we go
yes.
too much
Can't forget
further,
the straight razors
Mhm,
or the butcher knives.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, and also, I mean, it's got all the blades. Wesley Snipes is in there, right? We've got,
So what were you going to say, Frank?
I can't tell what mic you're using because my headphones are a little weird too. Are you on?
I checked, and I'm on my mic.
Okay, good. Then I am broadcasting incorrectly. This is actual play, actual podcast. All right. I will adjust on my end, but I could hear you more or less. Yay! We're playing the game that we stumbled upon the name of many times in the intro.
Yes.
Seamless, and we're actually going to be playing today. We're going to be actually
Yes, we are.
no character
What?
creation. Yeah, except for
I've
the
done
little
that
bit of
in so long.
character creation that Alex and I are doing right now.
Yeah, so the last little bit of bookkeeping that you have to do, Frank, is you chose the New World Arcane method.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to choose 2 arcane drawbacks, not just 1.
Oh, curses! Curses. It's one of my arcane drawbacks.
Perfect.
Okay. Yes. So, you know what it was? I kind of wanted a little bit more information on something like
Okay.
bright. Take 1+1 heat the first time it's used on the run. I know we said we were going to be playing, but we are also going to be explaining this game to you. So just accept it, audience.
Well, I'll be explaining the game to you. So
Yeah.
There you go.
Absolutely.
So heat is essentially a measure of how much the authorities are looking for you.
Oh, okay.
So you're
bright as in obvious. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Or I could have an expensive downtime upkeep, or reverent, forbid you from commanding spirits. I don't know. I kind of like reverent because, like, I am a font for the great fungi. I don't control it. So yeah, I'm going with reverent as my second. Reverent.
That's cool. It does take a little bit away from your playbook move that you picked, Conjurer.
Yeah,
it's supposed to obey the entity is supposed to obey a command that you give it, but you won't command it, so you will just be asking it to do things if it wants to.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to be very careful about how I play that or how we do this. But I like the idea of not be. I'm devout. I'm a tool of the great mycelium, so I don't want to control it. Okay.
All right. Cool. All right. So it's reverent and rigorous is your 2.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So I guess we're ready to start actually playing now that we have an actual play podcast. So
Yay.
Exciting.
Has everybody finished? Is everybody satisfied with your names? We'll put it that way.
I think so, yeah.
Yes, my name is, for those of you who were like on the edge last week, we landed on Polly. I'm going with Polly as the name. Yeah. Okay. And I'm going to put in my given name in there in a minute, but we don't have to worry about that. We don't have to wait for that.
Okay, cool. So Polly is your name. And with your paracritter we worked out on the forum is a mushroom field that grows underneath your headquarters.
Yep.
Very cool.
which can have a name if you want to give it one, but it doesn't necessarily have to have one.
Well, I think we'll figure out if we give it a name during play.
Yeah. All right, cool. So I think we'll just sort of jump into this, and I'll teach you the system as we go. And the first part of play is just sort of free play, where you are right before you get your job. We find out exactly what is up with you in your headquarters. Get a little feel for your characters. First off, your headquarters is within the Halloweeners territory. I think we had established that.
Yep.
And that's why you're so tight with them.
Mm-hmm. In an abandoned WeWork facility. That became.
I think that was your meeting
Halloween.
grounds.
Oh, that was the meeting ground. You're right. I forgot that was two
the
separate
abandoned
things.
WeWork facility.
Yeah.
The
we're in a church. That's right.
You're in a church, yes, which you stole from the Citizens on Patrol.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
You drove them out, so they don't like you.
They're the Citizens on Patrol. They certainly deserved it. So
I hope we find out that they're actually a Police Academy 3 cosplayers.
fan club.
All right. So somebody tell me, what does Punk Bunny look like, or have you ever seen her?
So I have an idea. If people are willing to let me take the reins,
Go for it.
I imagine that they're like, there's somebody who wears like a lot of jewelry, has dyed hair, like sleeve tattoos, total punk. But like they also have like rabbit theming, like they have like bunny ears on their headphones, and like half of their tattoos are rabbits and shit like that. So that's about where I was going.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yep. Same.
So yeah, you're headed out of the church to meet up with Punk Bunny to get a job, because Punk Bunny will give you espionage work.
Okay.
And that was something that you were after.
Mm-hmm.
So your abandoned WeWork meeting space, I think that was the one we established was in the Halloweener territory then, right?
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we were saying it may have been a spirit Halloween.
It was definitely a spirit of Halloween at some point. And
Well, that's the thing about abandoned buildings, right?
Right,
About
at
3
some
months
point.
of the year, they're spirit Halloween.
Yeah. And this was just the town that let the spirit live on. It was just a section. The spirit never dies.
That's spray painted on the side of a wall as we get in there. Spirit never dies. I like it.
Yeah, so the Halloweeners are a themed gang. They they dress up as ghouls and ghosties and stuff. So skull tattoos, that kind of thing.
Nice.
On the face. So you've got a relatively safe trip over there, because you know that this is their territory and they're not going to give you any hassle as you come in.
Right. What do the three of us look like again?
Yeah, let's have a description.
Ooh, that's okay.
Or what do you look like now?
Yeah, I gotta think. I think that we've established. I'm gonna say that my character's in their late 20s, early 30s. But this morning they just look like they're in the throes of puberty. Like they're in like they're like lanky and kind of thin and have all different acne. I think they're slightly male presenting for this particular instance, and they're wearing the same sort of overly baggy sweatshirt and like loose jeans with like a belt that has so many notches because they don't know what their waistline's going to look like in any given day.
Neat. Nice.
So they're right now it's like they look like a scarecrow tied in the middle, like they're like if that makes sense. Yeah. So they're tall, thin, and like like wispy puberty mustache and all that stuff.
Nice. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Rebels, up to you. You want to go next, or want me to go?
Yeah, so Mongoose is sort of like not skinny, but also not fat, just like kind of in that I'd say the skinnier side of chubby range. Very curvaceous, and she has very long, slightly curly hair, think like ringlets, blonde, and very sharp features.
Nice. Polly is healthy, really big, robust person, like someone who would give you a bear hug and lift you off the ground, type of person. Pale skin, I think has albinism, is what I said. I believe I said that. Long, frayed white hair. That's the only really unkempt thing about them. And constantly wears like a huge overcoat, probably a trench coat with pouches everywhere, or like 90s comic book style pouches everywhere, and they're all full of little herbatures and dried mushrooms and funny things they found on the floor that day. Big goofy smile on their face and just really happy to be outside. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And what time of day are you going to meet up with Punk Bunny?
You gotta go at night. It's Halloween Town. You gotta.
Yeah. Nothing's open during the day.
And I do have a little like trick-or-treating pumpkin, just in case, because you never know. You really never know.
Nice. All right. So you are taking what kind of transport?
Did we end up getting that van?
Public transit.
You do have the TACnet van, yes.
Let's take the van just because it's, time to flex, and also just in case we want to do the job right away.
Sounds good.
Well,
I do want to know how good public transit is in this dystopic cyber future.
I'm very curious about what creatures are living in the subway system.
Yeah.
There are creatures in the subway system, but there is, in fact, a subway system. And it's not bad. The trains are not bad in Seattle. In your headquarters in Redmond, they're not good. There's like one train that runs down there because it's not a particularly good neighborhood. So
that makes sense.
But if you're trying to go to the middle of the downtown, then it's not too bad. All right, so you're driving your TACnet van.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Have you? Does it just look like a generic work van, or have you? I mean, you're espionage experts. You probably don't want it too distinctive.
I think generic work van makes sense.
Yeah.
Like some, generic, we fix your whatever.
Your cable.
And then a list of things they do. And then it's like, finish first or your money back. Like the generic work van type bullshit printed on the side.
And then like the how's my driving, call this number on the back and all of that. Yeah. Where does the number go if they call it though? With
I
our
think
group.
to us.
I our group.
I take the feedback seriously. Like, no, we really don't. But occasionally we get jobs that way.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Cool. All right. So when you arrive at the abandoned WeWork with the tattered Spirit Halloween sign on it, you can see the light. There's a light inside where Punk Bunny is waiting for you in one of the conference rooms.
All right, let's see what Punk Bunny's up to. And I rummage through my pockets with a little gift to welcome her.
Okay.
Yeah. Hi, Punk Bunny. How are you?
They are they a they or a she?
Punk Bunny.
Yes.
I thought you established.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
Or she they. Okay. I'm gonna note that down on our notes. She says, doing well. I have stuff for you.
I also have stuff for you.
Oh yeah? What did you bring?
I'm not sure. They were labels on everything, and I forgot to actually affix them onto the. Listen, it'll be fine. It's gonna be fine. Just try this. Maybe not right now. Make sure there's something for you to fall back on.
She says, all right, you always have the good stuff.
I can't. You brought gifts? I didn't know. I'm sorry. I didn't. I apologize. I didn't know that we were supposed to bring gifts.
Oh no, this is from the entire group. This is from all of us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, okay.
Right.
It's just drugs anyway. It does not matter.
That is both correct and incorrect. It is just drugs, but they are the only thing that matters. So,
I strongly disagree.
that's fair. All right, but like we bring. You say that I always have the good stuff, but honestly, Punk, you're the one who always has the good stuff. What's our job? What's our potential job? I am not making any promises, right, folks? I haven't learned the lesson. What is our potential
there's
job?
a couple of things. I got approached by some clients who are interested in having you do a job downtown. But the head of the Halloweeners contacted me as I was coming in, and they have some work that they would like you to do too. So you have your choice. The first one is for the Black Lodge, which you guys know is a powerful magical association.
I feel like we had some sort of relationship with Black Lodge because we made a joke about black mold. Is that?
You do. You're at +1 with them.
Okay, good.
What are we with the Halloweeners?
+3.
Yeah.
+3. If we were to do jobs to the Black Lodge, is that the kind of thing that would start leading us to get more +1s for them, or no? How does that work?
That's correct. Yeah, that's how that would work.
Okay, and we've maxed out the Halloweeners.
You have.
Okay.
But the Halloweeners are close with you, so it's up to you how you want to handle this. Punk Bunny says, I'm not going to make a decision for you. The Black Lodge job is to sneak a body out of the morgue.
Ooh.
And Halloweeners?
Their rivals, the meat junkies, are getting a big shipment in, and they want the details so that they can rate it.
Do we know anything about the body, or what they want us to do with the body afterwards?
You're to deliver it to them.
So you know what? You know how much I love the Halloweeners, folks. But like, and that is a job that leads to other jobs potentially.
I
Because-
agree.
Yeah, once we get the information, maybe they'll need us to do the raid or murder a bunch of people. That could be interesting and fun. But the body involves a body.
Oh, it wouldn't be our first. We've dealt with.
I'm saying that as a positive. A body involves a
Yeah.
body.
Yeah, I think that's the right job. I think we've got plenty of good faith with the Halloweeners. They can go with someone else for a little bit, and I mean, I don't think we'd lose any business. Plus, if they get someone and they do a bad job, then we can always come back and do a good job. I think we go with the Black Lodge on this one.
All right.
I see the benefit of both. So you could, so Rebel, which one? I'm sorry,
Mongoose.
Mongoose. Got it. Mongoose. Which?
I think the intelligence is where we work best. Toting around the body is cumbersome and easy to get caught.
So we're split down the middle because I don't want to make a decision. Well, can't see a way around this.
You can always flip a coin.
Oh, yes, I'll flip a coin. That's a great idea, Punk Bunny. Yeah, I pick up a coin and flip it. Out of character, do either of us, do we actually want one or the other?
I don't really care.
Neither do I.
Yeah, let's pick the body so that it's something that can potentially screw us over in many different ways.
Absolutely.
Yeah, all right. So whatever body comes up on the coin. Maybe the coin actually has body or existential crisis.
Body or existential crisis are the two sides of coin.
Yep.
In this year.
Mm-hmm. I don't know where I found that coin, but it was really good.
It's a state coin. It's like that's like the motto of a particular state. On there.
I want to know what state that. All right, yeah. So we have a Punk. We've decided. Yeah, we're gonna go with the Black Lodge on this one.
The Black Lodge job.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So here's
I start writing a letter to the Halloweeners saying we regret to inform you we can't do the job. It probably never get mailed, but I start writing it anyways.
Nice. So she gives you the details of the morgue job. And so here's the deal.
Mm-hmm.
You choose. This is a stealth job or a transport job, I guess. You can decide what kind of job it is, actually.
Oh,
I'm down with that. Whether it's stealth or transport, because that determines essentially where the action is going to be. Is the action in you breaking into the morgue, or is the action in you moving this body around?
Oh, I feel like the action is definitely moving the body. I feel like
Absolutely.
I think if we're playing to our power sets, the easy part is getting in. The hard part is going to be getting out.
Nice.
Right.
Okay, so it's a transport job. Mm-hmm. So the detail that you're going to provide is the route and means. And if you don't want to decide that right now, you can do some gather info to determine that first.
Yeah, I have no idea what this layout looks like or anything like that. I think gathering info so we can have an idea would be helpful.
Well, can we make up what it is since we don't know what it is? Is that how it works? Like, since nothing
you're going to be providing that information to me.
Yeah. So in that case, why would we? Maybe instead of gathering information, we could just provide it. Does that?
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, I like that.
So I'm a big fan of Chekhov's gun. We spent a good part of this podcast already talking about the subways and what they are like or not like. So what we just established, it's the part of the subway that we're planning on using is mostly abandoned and dysfunctional, but we think we can, move the body to the old subway station near the morgue, and then transport it on a deadline.
Okay.
Good.
So,
All right.
Yeah. So that means that basically we're going to say that you have, because the initial roll is going to determine essentially your starting position in this adventure. What we're saying is that you've already got the body by the time the action starts.
Yeah, like a quick
Right.
montage. We're all doing our cool thing, and then
That's right.
we get
Yeah.
the body. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. The difficult part is transporting it, and we have a plan, and that's our rough plan.
Right. And we want a real detailed plan. You can do that through flashbacks.
Right.
I was about to say we can flash back to essentially the montage pieces as needed, correct?
Absolutely.
In order to help us tell the story. Perfect. Love that.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So what we're going to do now is going to determine what the initial engagement roll is, which will determine sort of where you are starting out, how difficult your situation is as we get into this. So you're going to start with basically 1 die for luck, plus 1 die for every major advantage, and -1 for every major disadvantage. So is this operation particularly bold or daring? I think you kind of transporting a body through the subway system is fairly bold.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that gives you an extra die.
Nice.
Is it overly complex and contingent on many factors? I kind of don't feel that way.
No.
Right now, no. We didn't make this that complex.
Yeah.
We're 3 people carrying a body in a sewer. This is not
Right.
rocket science, I don't think.
Does the plan's detail expose a vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest? I will say no on this.
Sure.
Any opposition you're going to get, they're not going to be like particularly weak in the subway, I wouldn't think.
Mm-hmm.
As the target strongest against this approach, do they have particular defenses and special preparations?
I don't know that they have special preparations for 3 people and a body.
Well, I don't know. I mean, this one I feel is a little bit up in the air because what we're talking about here is the authorities as your target. And somebody may report you to them. Right? If you see something, say something.
You're right. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, this is right up in the air because partially it's the whole point of doing the subway is that it's been abandoned and no one's monitoring it, as opposed to like down the street. But at the same time, we're also in an abandoned part of where no one should be walking. So it's almost 50-50. It could go either way.
So I'm not going to give you that one either. So,
sure.
That was fine because that would have taken a die away from you. Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight for this operation?
Who's my contact in this? Hold on. I got to double check my friends list.
I know who your enemy is because he's the most memorable person.
Raiden the parkourist? Yeah.
Yes.
My friend is a records clerk, so no.
Oh,
really.
And you and I have the same friend, don't we? We both have Roz. Roz is who I know. I knew Roz. I know Roz is the professor, and you know Roz is the free spirit, which I love.
I don't think that's going to help you there.
No, not at all. So no help from our friends.
Hey, we have a new name for the podcast.
Any enemies or rivals interfering with this operation? And I don't think so.
Yeah, not necessarily.
No parkourists flipping through the sewer.
He really wants to practice this parkour in tight quarters.
Yeah, none of your enemies that you have, or any of the factions that are enemies to you, particularly have any skin in the game, except for maybe citizens on patrol.
Right.
Well, they can come for us if they want to. The bastards.
Mhm.
So you're going to be getting 2 dice for this,
Okay.
and we're going to roll and see. So the way that this works is we roll 2d6 and take the highest result of either die.
All right.
Anybody want to make this roll for us? Now, the way roll for your party works is you just type in 2 next to d6 and then click submit, and it'll roll dice on the.
I'm mostly just playing to see if I could share the screen at the same time. But Alex, would you like to roll?
Yeah, I just rolled. I got a 9.
Oh, yeah.
So actually, you got a 5 and a 4.
A 5 and a 4. Yes.
So we're going to take the highest result, which is the 5.
Yep.
And that is a mixed result.
Okay.
So there's a big risk when the action starts. So your first roll will be risky. And that's basically all that's going to determine.
A lot of dogs in these subway tracks.
Well, I was going to say
there's ambiance.
In game. I think that the section that we're going through, since it's like the abandoned section, there's like lots of urban legends about things going on down there. Like we're about to enter like the spooky part of Spooky Town or whatever we're calling the place we're in.
Sorry about the dog barking in my neighbor's yard.
I think we should definitely call it Spooky Town.
Spooky Town.
Sure.
Spooky
I agree.
Town.
Spooky Town.
Spooky Town subway station and
Mhm.
All right. So we're the result was, you said, a mixed result?
Yep.
All right.
That's correct. So the way roles work in this game is that you have essentially a you're going to be rolling one of your skills, and I'm going to tell you whether it is a normal roll, a risky roll, or a desperate roll.
Okay.
And a desperate roll will always get you XP, so keep that in mind.
Nice.
It will also depend an awful lot on essentially what you're trying to do. If you're in the middle of running with a body through the subway system, being chased by people, that's probably desperate.
Okay.
If you are trying to transport a body up out of the subway station through the city streets, that's risky.
Sure.
So what I'm going to say is you've gotten to this point where the subway tunnel ahead of you has collapsed.
Oh, all right.
So you're going to have to detour around it.
Yeah,
so you're going to have to come up with a plan as to how you're going to do that. Not a plan, but I mean like a move.
All right. So what's the plan here? We can't go any further. Can't go up here. There was a station, a couple, 40 yards back. We could probably get back there. It's not that far.
So I feel like
your options are limited. You could try to climb through some of the smaller, like outtake tunnels, where there's like, they pump the water out, that kind of thing. Or you could go back to the station and try to take it over the city streets for a couple of blocks.
I think we already established that the subway was our plan. So let's not immediately let's see if we could go backtrack and play with some of the fun of the system that we had a plan for this. You know what I mean? Yeah. We didn't fail immediately. It's like,
no, you didn't. No, this is just risky.
Yeah, I know.
No,
so yeah,
what you're doing is risky. So what I'm going to say is there is a way through, but it's it's a subway tunnel that is still in use.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I want to do that. I think that's fun.
Okay. So
we're gonna
get
weaken
through
and
there-
birdies this body.
Oh, Jackie's not as happy about that decision. But if that's what we're doing, that's what we're doing. Jackie's holding the ankles, just like, okay,
Well-
where we?
Well, we don't know much about the condition of this body. And I'm.
Either
Are there any
way.
rules? Were there any rules at all about delivering this? Like, could it be puppeted around? Or does
Yeah,
it
what's
have to stay in the
the-
sack?
It has to be completely intact.
Okay. So let's just, we're gonna like transport it in some sort of garbage can or whatever. Really,
You've
just
got it in a body bag, probably.
yeah, like a body bag, and the bag is inside like a sanitation cart, so it looks like it's just another bag of garbage or something like that. And we'll see if we had a weekend in Bernie's plan later on as we roll. Okay, yeah. So there's a brief moment of time. We're going to be in an active subway tunnel. I'm okay with that. That was all. Yeah, we're doing that.
Okay.
Okay.
So I think the risk here is that you get spotted, not that you get run over by a train.
Yeah. I think that's
Yeah, that would be better.
So what this is going to be is a prowl roll, but this is a group roll, which means that your mage is going to drag you down
Yeah.
because you have no dice in that.
None.
So there are two things that you can do when you don't like the number of dice that you have. And I'm going to find that in the book.
There you go. But first session of actual play, folks. So part of being an actual play podcast is learning how to play. I'm sure by the 20th session, we'll have been this is how you play?
Yes.
Yeah.
The way we did Bulldogs and pretty much everything else.
Yeah, okay. I finally got this hang of Bulldogs about 2 episodes before it ended.
Right. And it's not even a game that's really that different from other things.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Okay, before we get too far, also, everybody choose what your loadout is for this job.
Oh, yeah.
And if you chose a heavy loadout, that means that the prowl roll is actually harder. Because
I don't think we would have.
I would essentially armed for a fight.
Yeah, I'm going light
light
on myself, I think.
Light as well.
Oh, I think what's interesting too, and maybe I'll stick with this as a thing, is I think I'm going to be limited on my loadouts based on what my body looks like, because I don't know if my character could hold a heavy loadout in the form they're currently in.
Oh yeah, that's true. Because you're just a skinny
I'm a super skinny, gawky, lanky kid. So like I think that I have to be wearing light because I don't think I can carry too much more.
Right. That's totally true. Okay.
Now when it says lighting gear, does it mean like literal like flashlight or lights or things like that?
That's correct.
Mm-hmm.
So if you get into a position where you're in the tunnels and it's dark and you want to have lighting gear so that you're not in the middle of the dark, then you're going to have to check one of those off. You haven't gotten into that position yet, so don't worry about checking anything off.
All right.
So now we're going for that, or we're trying to figure out how to do that group.
So the way the group roll works is that everybody's going to roll their dice, and the highest result of the group roll is a success. But if somebody fails the roll with a 1 to 3, it's going to cause stress to the person leading the roll. Edge, I should say. Lose edge.
And if I have 0, it would be 0d6. So how does that work?
You roll 2 dice and keep the worst one.
Oh, okay. Oh no.
And this is prowl, right?
Yes, unless you want to take a dragon's deal.
I
I can
definitely
offer you
want
a
to do
bonus die for a dragon deal.
that. Mm-hmm.
And what I'm going to do with that is actually start a clock for you that will determine when the authorities have been alerted to your presence.
Okay.
Are you taking a dragon deal or?
I kind of no, because like it feels like the risk is almost the same. So I'm not going to take that dragon deal. I'm going to roll the 2d6 and go for the lowest. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
I
So
believe
you
all
will
our
notice
rolls
that there's a
will
little
start
thing
to
up
go
in the there's a little thing up in the corner that says color. You can change the color of your dice so that we all have a different color.
Oh,
That's
okay. So here's
smart.
now I'll go orange. I'm about to do I do 1d6 per. I get sorry, how many d6 am I rolling? Because I have 1 in prowl.
You're rolling 1d6.
Just 1d6. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
And you went orange, you said?
Yeah. So it'll come up in a second. I'm putting it in now.
I'm trying to find the color because I am dumb.
Colors on the very end
Oh,
of the
see
same
it.
section that has all the D numbers.
The dice.
Yep.
I'm going to go with red. And for those of you watching us,
It's got to be
can
real
see that
exciting
rebel.
for us. Discussing
Yeah.
colors.
All right. So I went with red for the color of my dice. And remember, I'm rolling 2, but I'm keeping the lowest, the lowest.
The lowest.
Which doesn't matter because they were both 3. All right. So we got a 3 and a 5.
Oof. Okay.
And then Rebel. You need to roll one die.
One die?
Because you have 1 in prowl.
Okay. I got a 6.
Nice.
Very nice. All right. So that's good for you. I assume you were leading the roll, Alex.
I'm leading the roll.
Or was Rebel leading the roll?
I don't know. Wait, what do you mean by leading the roll?
Who's sort of guiding everybody through this prowl?
I would guess not Jackie. Jackie so far has been very hesitant about most of the stuff involved, especially going through this area. So I don't think Jackie's not.
Mangoose makes sense then, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You definitely want Mangoose to do it then, because what you want the person who is likely to succeed to be leading the role.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
When we got the 6, probably should do that.
We're supposed to pick this before we roll, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Probably.
But that's okay. You got the 6. That means that it's a great success.
Awesome.
And I was there too.
Right. Mm-hmm. But you are also going to suffer, lose 1 edge thanks to Polly, who has screwed something up, not screwed something up, but been less stealthy than the rest of you, and you covered for it.
Yeah. So Mongoose, what you do to what I did wrong?
Well, let's start with what you did wrong.
I probably was like not even crouching, not even attempting, like just looking around,
and you're a big
not
person,
blending
too.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So was maybe even handing someone something. Somebody looked hungry and I handed them something.
I imagine then that my recovery action was physically dragging you back into the shadows.
So yeah, I stopped handing out food to indigents and just follow along. Just follow along.
All right. So the way edge works is when you run out of edge, you start to take trauma. So you don't want to run out of edge.
Mm-hmm.
You can always push yourself, which is you spend 2 edge, and I believe get a reroll. I think that's how that works.
All right. So be careful of losing edge.
How do you gain more edge back?
You do that during downtime actions in between missions.
Cool. Perfect.
All right.
And how many edge do we start with?
9, I believe.
Oh, so it takes a while before you get trauma.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Cool.
Yeah, because you get you have a total of 4 trauma that you can get before your character needs to retire. So,
Okay.
Boom.
Cool. And we'll have to at some point. I know. Is there more than one thing you can do for the edge, or is it just the reroll dice?
Yes, there's stuff that there's some of your powers that require you to spend edge.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see. I'm looking at my adepts stuff now. Okay, cool.
So this means that we've successfully brought the body through the active part of the subway station.
Right, and completely successfully, which means that you slipped through there without attracting any attention to yourself. You managed to get the body back into an abandoned subway tunnel that leads off of the main active one. Just as a train goes by, you're hidden in the shadows.
Nice. That's what they call the game.
You could say we're runners in the shadows.
That's right.
True, with blades.
And in the dark.
In the dark.
Everyone take a shot. All right.
So that means that you can then continue on your way. I'm going to say the difficulty right now is the effect level is controlled. So there's little that will go wrong when you're making a test doing this particular activity. What do you want to do to hedge your bets about this section of the subway tunnel? Do you want to do a flashback scene to where you've got a map of the tunnels?
Yeah, let's do a flashback scene. Actually, maybe when we're back in quarters and we discuss the giant rats that we know occupy this part of the tunnel. So we're gonna bring bait. We're gonna bring something to feed them and distract them, bring them off.
Okay,
off the
cool.
scent of the dead body.
So for a flashback scene, I believe that does cost edge.
Okay. I'll do that. I'll spend the edge for that. Yeah.
All right. I'm just trying to find the flashback scene rules just so that I know exactly how much it costs you. I did read through these rules.
Yeah, I'm curious about whether we would even spend to do the flashback yet until we don't succeed in the roll.
That's probably what you want to do.
Yeah.
You want to spend it when you have essentially
failed.
An unexpected twist has occurred and you need to explain how you've planned for it.
Okay. Yeah, that makes more sense. That's cool. All right. Yes. So this part, so what are we actually rolling to see if we get through without an unexpected twist in this part?
Okay, well, you've picked the tunnels that are less trafficked and also the ones that are farther away from the creatures that dwell down here. So that's why this is a controlled action now.
Mm-hmm.
Not a risky one.
Right.
No, go ahead.
No, nothing.
What were you going to say?
No, nothing.
Okay. Okay, so I think you probably want to survey the route in this case.
That's cool. I like surveying. I have two in survey.
Don't let me tell you what you're doing. I mean, describe what your characters are doing.
All right, good. So again, first game, this is a good thing to know. So we would be normally telling you at this point, this is what we want to do. Okay, cool.
So you're heading down a tunnel. How do you want to deal with that?
Yeah, I think we were all being too polite to each other and waiting for the
Yeah.
other person to go first. Yeah, I actually do like the idea of surveying this part to see, like, because it's going to be a little bit more dangerous, right? It's all ruined and unused. I am. Does anyone have a problem with survey?
I do not.
All right, I'm at 2. Anybody else better than that and want to take lead?
0. So no.
Okay. Rebel.
Also 0.
Ooh. All right, this is a bad argument. We should pick something we're all okay at. But
well, you're not actually joining. You don't have to do this as a team effort. You could actually.
No, you could go off and survey.
Oh, in that case, yeah.
Right.
Let me see if I could earn. I'm gonna do the roll. I'm not gonna share the screen. You out there in podcast land have to trust me. And I got a 1 and a 5.
1 and a 5.
Yeah.
Okay. So a 5 is a partial success.
Okay. What are the consequences to a partial success?
So that's the question. There will be consequences because it's a partial success. So essentially what that means is there is some difficulty that will arise. But because this was a controlled action, that difficulty is not going to be particularly insurmountable.
Okay. I think it does make sense for you Brennan, to provide the difficulty. Because that would allow me to
difficulty and I provide the consequences. That's what happens.
Yes, perfect.
You tell me what your characters are doing so that I can determine what kind of roll you need to make.
So we're now in the crappy part of the ruined subway line.
Right.
I think we've kind of established our creatures. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is Seattle, so it's cold and wet and rainy most of the time. And there is, in fact, a gap in the upper part of this tunnel, and water is coursing down into the tunnel, making it wet, slippery, and possibly home to various critters.
Okay.
But this is the fastest route that you have to get where you're going. Otherwise, you're going to have to backtrack again.
Okay. So, so the consequences of this being a 5 is backtracking.
Yeah.
Right?
It would be either backtracking or taking a riskier roll.
Okay, I like that. So at this point, flashback, we knew that this was going to be a really garbage part of the tunnel. I'll spend edge for that. And this is why we came here earlier and laid down planks. So we knew that we have a bunch of scrap lumber on the side. We're going to build. We have a bridge. We're just moving in the right position now.
Okay. So this
and
is
screw
a
it and food for the rats.
Action or okay. So I think this one is actually a pretty ordinary action that you could have had an easy opportunity to do. You didn't have to convince anybody to let you do this. You didn't have to do anything other than just drag planks down here.
Right.
So that's a 0 edge flashback.
Okay. All right.
Sweet.
I get the mechanics.
You have to roll an action for that.
Does anybody have any engineer?
Nope.
That would be the best.
Do not
anybody have anything?
Oh, 1.
All right.
Well, give me an argument for some other skill, and I will.
Yeah, I'm going to go with study. I'm pretty sure I know that these beams will be strong enough to last us crossing them. right? I'm not building a bridge to last forever, but it's I know weak parts of treated lumber, and this will be fine. So I have one
Okay.
study.
I will let you make a study roll for this, even though that's a bit of a stretch.
Okay.
But that's because this is like also not that complicated a contraption that you're trying to build.
Yeah. And I don't know what I rolled because I didn't clear it. It had to have been the 3 because it's the one that I didn't roll. Didn't clear. So yes, we have to remember to keep hitting clear unless we want to pile them up for some reason. I got a 3.
You got a 3.
Oof.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you have arrived here where you had placed those planks, and they are gone.
It is possible that the giant rats like to gnaw on the wooden planks we left down here.
Or that somebody who's living down here decided that that was some good construction material and stole it.
Yes. So that's what I offer to my companions who are hoping. So, I mean, we either double back or we jump.
You'll be having to traverse a slippery corridor strewn with rubble in the water.
Well, it's a good thing I brought climbing gear then.
Ooh.
Okay,
I like
so you
this.
took off your climbing gear.
Yeah. So Mongoose sighs and says, you didn't think to secure the planks when you left them here?
Oh, we did, but it wasn't enough.
I see. And Mongoose will take the pack off of her back and pull out the climbing gear. And that's how we'll get across.
Nice. So I actually do want this will be a roll.
Okay.
And it's gonna be finesse.
Okay.
This is what I was waiting for.
Mm-hmm.
This is what you were waiting for.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be risky.
Okay.
Because things have gone poorly for you all.
Mm-hmm.
What if I don't have anything in finesse?
Yeah.
I told you, you roll 2 dice and you keep the low one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or you can take a dragon's deal.
So what does that entail exactly?
In this case, it's
I determine what the bad thing that's going to happen is, and you decide whether you want to take that deal and get a die out of it or not.
Would this be a group finesse roll, or is one person rolling? For
Yeah, I was going to say.
I think every person is rolling for themselves in this case.
Yeah, I think we should save the climbing gear for now because I don't have any. No
I have
finesse.
2 finesse.
All right, so you have a chance of getting there. So that means the 2 of us are going to have to either make deals or roll poorly.
Right.
So we could also just. I think maybe now is when we're learning the system. I think now is the time we lean into what we're actually good at. So here's one thing I can do. I can do a magical effect right now and see if we could solve this problem with that. Anybody else have a solution that they would want to try? We'll pick the one that we feel is the most fun.
I'm like a talky person. I'm really not suited to this whole thing.
I am. Yeah, I think we try some magic out. Let's do
All
some
right.
magic.
So while Mongoose is like, we could try this. This is what I don't know if it'll work. We're all terrible at it. I'm like, all right, Mother Mycelium, please hear our desperate call. Come build a bridge for us so that we may deliver this corpse to the ground in your bosom. Or whatever. We're not your
or whatever
boss.
they're going to do with it.
Yes. So yes, I do a prayer. I'm using Conjurer to force a nearby astral, which should be nearby. I mean, we're in the if anywhere, mushrooms are growing. I'm hoping here. Nebral
Mhm.
astral entity to appear before you and obey the command you give it. So I'm hoping for like a mushroom bridge. I'm weaving my
Right.
fingers together.
I
for the
love that.
podcast listeners that bridge the gap.
Oh,
Because you are, you have this ability. That means that the mushrooms do listen to you
Mhm.
when you ask for their help. That's what I'm going to interpret that it will appear and follow a command is.
Right.
It's not, you're not really commanding them. You're asking for their help and they come
Yeah.
and help you.
And that's the way I'm trying to frame it, where I'm only asking for things that feel like they would be okay with and that I'm asking. We'll see,
Right.
they could refuse.
love that.
All right.
And you also are not afraid of these creatures when they show up,
Mhm.
which your friends may be, though.
Oh, I definitely am. Jackie is bouncing on tiptoe, like, oh my gosh, what the hell is going on? As things are moving underneath their feet.
What exactly are these creatures?
So, like, they're mushrooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like,
they're
I think-
blooming and growing up out of the water into
Yeah.
little
I think this is
brown
one of those.
pads that you can walk on.
I feel like this is one of those situations where Jackie has seen this happen like 30 times and just never ever gets used to it. Like this is not our first time together. This is not the first time Jackie's probably seen you do this weird mushroomy summonings, and it's like just icks them out every time.
Oh yeah, yeah. And the more obvious, the more icky it is, right? Mushrooms appearing to eat and is one thing, but just growing in super real time or faster than real time. So I got a 2 and a 5, so 5.
Okay. So that is a partial success, so there will be consequences. But I'm going to say that this was a controlled roll.
Mhm.
And the reason for that is that this is your wheelhouse, right?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I got an interesting. I got an idea for the consequence, but I don't know if we're gonna get into that point. We're already into it as an hour, so we're able to like toadstool over and bring the body to the other end of the ruined track.
Yes. But what I'm going to say is, and this is where we'll leave it for the evening, is that the delicious smell of the mushrooms growing has attracted some of the large rodents that live down here.
Perfect.
Yeah, love it. Yep, that's what.
Rodents of unusual size? I don't think they exist.
That's right.
Find out next week on Dungeon Not Included. Yes, that was better than what I was what I was fearful of. I was like, we have to bring this body intact, and
Right.
there's a bunch of mushrooms everywhere. They're gonna want to nibble on that little body. I don't know how tight that body bag is, but I guess we'll see how poorly we fail next week.
Yeah, right.
Here's your dad. He's disgusting now. I don't know what the deal with this guy is. You can have him. No. All right. So yeah, this was a little.
We had some stutters, but that's all right.
Yeah.
We're figuring it out as we go.
Yeah, no, this is essential. You have to do it this way so that we and I like the fact that exactly that we, as commenter said, Ocean's 11 some planks into the plan. We definitely did that.
Yep.
And yeah, I guess the mushroom bridge was a big hit. Thank you, Lynn. Very nice. Excellent. But no, I think the cool part about this was that we got a chance to see every little bit of the mechanic, right? So we got to see a bunch of different mechanics, including flashbacks and what group roles are. I'm sure we'll get better at this as we learn the game. Fun.
Yep.
All right. That's it for this week. Next week we will be playing same channel, same time. And is there any like kind of homework assignment we want to hand people for next week? Any like loose ends? I guess people can name the giant mushroom I worship that lives underneath the church. If you want, you can name the giant mushroom that lives under the church that is our home base. And we'll just tweet us at DNI Crew and we'll do something about it. I think that's good. Any other loose ends? Anybody else has something that they want to fill out the gap?
I just want to say this is Runners in the Shadows. The new edition of it is now out, and
Nice.
you can pick it up.
Hooray!
on
Yeah.
it, I
Cool.
believe.
Yeah, it's on itch, and we'll have links on it on Non-Pro, and it'll be great. Thank you all for watching us play. The podcast will come out probably tomorrow, and tune in for
You're going to be able to edit out all of those dog barks in that period of time. That's impressive, Frank.
it's an actual play podcast. We're not editing anything out. Close enough, shove it out there. We already got a name, Marsha Room.
Marsha
Room. Love it.
Wonderful.
I love it. All right. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next time.